Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So for today's video, we have 10 early NBA trade deadline predictions. This is an article by Bleacher Report's Adam Frommel. I always like to cover his stuff because he always has very interesting perspectives, but not always the most agreeable stuff, so it always makes good for good, discussion and things like that. So here we go, guys. Give me all of your guys' thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I love reading your guys' stuff and just hearing what you guys have to say about all this out here. So here we go, The first one we have is DeAndre Jordan to the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, so do I agree with this? I personally want to see DeAndre go to the Cleveland Cavaliers just because I feel like he'd be such a great fit over there, and I feel like the Clippers could probably get like more bang for their buck for this type of trade because they probably would be able to get that Brooklyn Nets draft pick. Honestly, though, they could do like a trade of maybe Lou Williams and DeAndre Jordan for that second round draft pick, maybe like a Tristan Thompson and toss in somebody else. That would be very interesting because Lou Williams has been absolutely killing it on the Clippers, so his scoring and shooting abilities on the Cavaliers would be much needed. But as far as like DeAndre to the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't know what kind of trade they could work out for this because you got to imagine the Clippers would probably want Malcolm Brogdon or maybe Thon Maker. I'm pretty sure that the Bucks are pretty like reluctant to give up either one of those guys. Now, they might actually do a trade with Malcolm Brogdon now that they have Eric Bledsoe and Chris Middleton kind of holding down the backcourt for the most part, at least like when everybody's back from injuries and everything. Because, of course, like Jabari Parker, when he gets back, he's probably going to be in the starting lineup, right? Now, I guess maybe they could do a trade with Jabari Parker. I don't know how that would work out. I don't know if the Bucks are all about that life because they've been waiting on this guy to get healthy for so long. But with DeAndre Jordan, you get the defense, you get the shot blocking ability out there, you get a guy that can catch some lobs. So, playing off of Giannis or even Eric Bledsoe could be a pretty deadly combination. So, yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool to see, and I think that would definitely, because the Bucks are like 9th place right now in the Eastern Conference, which is very surprising because you talk about like Giannis and like MVP talks. At least some people are saying that. I don't think he's quite MVP caliber quite yet. Definitely heading in that right direction, but you look at their roster, it's like, how is that team 9th place in the Eastern Conference? So, I think DeAndre Jordan would definitely get him maybe to a top 6 seed. But let's move on. Okay, so we got Lou Williams joins a contender. So, I did talk a little bit about him going to the Cavaliers, but honestly, the San Antonio Spurs seems like a great fit for Lou Williams, just because like his scoring out there, combined with Kawhi Leonard once he's like completely healthy. Also, what maybe Patty Mills in the backcourt with them. Maybe defensively it's not all that great, but the scoring from those two would be absolutely crazy. So, not to mention they have LaMarcus Aldridge, who is a good inside post player, would be able to draw some double teams, kick it out to Lou Williams, who, you know, on a very depleted Clippers roster, just had a 50-point game against the Golden State Warriors. As far as like other teams he could join, I don't know, man. Like, what team would you like see Lou Williams go to? I can't really like think of any off the top of my head. OKC Thunder? Come on, man. Like, they run like Andre Roberson as shooting guard. Put this man. Yes, I guess he does take a lot of shots. Maybe it won't be the greatest fit, but maybe the offensive onslaught would start if they had a guy like Lou Williams, because that way, you know, teams couldn't sag off Andre Roberson onto those other guys like Paul George, Russell Westbrook, or Carmelo Anthony. It would keep teams honest. So I don't know, man. Definitely it would be interesting to see, but wow, he's averaging 22 points on the season and 5 assists. That is all right. Let's move on, guys. Memphis Grizzlies plunge into the rebuild. So what this pretty much is saying is the team would trade away Mike Conley, the team would trade away Marc Gasol, Tyreke Evans probably, in hopes to get some first-round draft picks out of it. So I'd like to see Marc Gasol go to the Toronto Raptors. I know there's been some big talks about that. Tyreke Evans, I don't know, man. I feel like while he is a great player, I don't know, he's shooting the 3-ball pretty nicely too. So what team would Tyreke Evans fit in nicely on? It just seems like he's kind of like benefiting of the situation of this team really not being that good, so he is able to go out there and kind of be the man. Because if he went to a contender, he would kind of have to settle for a secondary role out there, I would think. Now, going to the Miami, he would be a good choice because it sounds like Deion Waiters is going to be out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. So maybe a Tyreke Evans, Justice Winslow type of trade deal could be worked out. Mike Conley, I mean, to be a great NBA team, to like really contend for NBA championship, you need a good point guard, man. You need a good point guard. I'm not talking like, you know, 2013 Miami, because LeBron James was the point guard of that team. So if there's like some NBA teams out there that are like a point guard away from really contending, Mike Conley is definitely a guy to look at. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, DeMarcus Cousins stays with the New Orleans Pelicans. So I do think this will probably happen, just in the sense that DeMarcus Cousins is on a 1-year deal, right? So a team is not going to trade for Boogie unless there is something worked in saying that, all right, we are going to trade for you, but DeMarcus must agree to sign with us for, 3 or 4 years. Now, if it was a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, who's definitely on top of the radar for getting DeMarcus Cousins, that would be different because they really have one season to achieve things out there. Because after this season, if they lose to the Golden State Warriors or a team like that, or lose to the Toronto Raptors or Washington Wizards or Boston Celtics, then LeBron James is probably going to leave. He might leave anyway. I'm not really sure yet. I know Cleveland fans are very sensitive about that topic, but I feel like the signs are pointing in that direction. So I feel like they should go all in on Boogie Cousins and just go for that really big name super team. So, but I also feel like that's why the Cavaliers are hanging on to that draft pick too. Because it's like, well, if LeBron does leave, at least we have a rebuilding piece already. They can get a guy like a Michael Porter or a Marvin Bagley or somebody like that. All right, next up we have, yeah, man, I want this dude so bad on my team just because, like, he has been shooting that basketball from three. Like, he has been a freaking beast on the Bulls. If we could work out some sort of trade that involved Stanley Johnson, John Lure, maybe a future first-round lottery-protected draft pick, I would totally take on Nikola Mirotic just because I feel like he'd be a great fit. It would allow Tobias Harris to shift over to the 3 spot. I'm so happy this popped up, man, because I had an entire post talking about this. And just him and Drummond on the court together, I think, could be something pretty special. So, yeah, Mirotic to the Pistons. I really hope this does happen. I've been hearing talks of Derek Favors from Mirotic, so that might honestly be there too. But I feel like the Bulls, since they are in a rebuild, they could definitely be kind of persuaded with some type of first-round draft pick. Okay. Cleveland Cavaliers don't hold on to the Brooklyn Jets pick. Well, this kind of goes back to what I was saying about Boogie Cousins, where it's like, you can't really sit on the fence. You really can't. It's like you either trade that draft pick and you try to get a contending player for it, a guy that will help the Cavaliers contend at least, or you hold on to it and just kind of realize that you're not going to be good enough to win it this year, or maybe hope you do, like pray to the NBA gods that you guys can win a championship. Not saying Cleveland can't do it. You always have a chance with LeBron James. It just seems like in years past, this team is not as good as, you know, maybe like the team with Kyrie Irving. Although, with that being said, we do have to wait to see what Isaiah Thomas can do completely with the Cavaliers team. He's only played a few games so far, so I don't know. I just feel like the, you know, Dan Gilbert, is he still on the team? You know, my NBA knowledge is lacking right now with the front office of the Cavaliers. Is Dan Gilbert still on the team? I think he is, isn't he? Anyway, whoever it is, he's not, is he? I don't remember, man. Who is it? Whoever it is, though, you know, it's like you're always sitting on the fence. So, man, sorry, man, guys. I'm playing with a fidget spinner right now. You might hear that in the background. So, yeah. All right, next up. Houston Rockets finally avoid making a trade. Well, I will say, if you guys can trade bitch-ass contract Ryan Anderson, please go for it, man. Please go for it. Just because, save that money. Like, if you get the opportunity, I don't know what kind of numbers he's actually putting up this season. Maybe he's been a good role player for you guys out there. But if the opportunity does present itself, do it. Because you guys are already playing great anyway. And it's not like Ryan Anderson is going to be the difference between, like, winning a championship or not. So if the opportunity does arise, then you do, of course, make that trade. Because that will allow you to free up the cap to maybe go for a guy like LeBron James in the NBA offseason, or Carmelo Anthony, or a Paul George, or somebody like that. So as far as, like, positions they absolutely really need, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So, yeah. Damn, dude, yo, look at this list. They have made a trade every single season. Wow, dude. This is going back to 2008, so it's like 10 years that they've made a trade at the trade deadline. All right. Toronto Raptors are the best Eastern Conference team to stand pat. So what it means by this, obviously, is that they will not make a trade. I believe they are currently second in the Eastern Conference. I know they were kind of back and forth with the Cavaliers, with making the video might be different. But yeah, I can't really see them going for anybody unless it was a guy like Marc Gasol. But at the same time, it's like their record is pretty decent right now. It's better than decent. I mean, there's what, second place in the Eastern Conference. DeMar DeRozan's playing nice, so it might be a little dangerous to play with chemistry. But with that being said, I mean, if you as a Raptors fan, if you don't think that your team is like capable of winning the championship this season, or getting to the finals, or getting past LeBron James, it's like y'all better make a move. You know, you can't settle for that mediocrity, because that was what happened to the 2013, I believe it was, that team, the Atlanta Hawks, where it's just like, yeah, they had 5 really good players, they had like 4 All-Stars, but maybe they could have made a move that would have helped them contend even more instead of just being kind of a really good, mediocre team. I hate saying like that, but it's the best I got. So I don't know, man. Raptors, I think if you all get a chance to get Marc Gasol, you definitely go for it. Next now, we have the Denver Nuggets finally move for a point guard. Mike Conley, man. Yo, Mike Conley on the Denver Nuggets. I did not think about that. That makes so much sense. Like, that just makes so much sense. I don't know what the trade would be exactly. They might have to let go of a guy like Jamal Murray, but I would hate to see them do that. So maybe Emmanuel Mudiay or even a Gary Harris. You know, somebody like that can go over to the Memphis Grizzlies, toss in a draft pick, and then all of a sudden you have a team of Mike Conley. You have Jamal Murray in the backcourt with him. You still got, Nikola Jokic, Paul Millsap when he comes back from injury. So you got something going there. And I think this is final, guys. So much action. What does he mean by this? From the second half of January through the 2017 trade deadline, we saw 16 different deals. Yes, the NBA offseason was crazy. 1 year earlier, the league engaged in 10 unique trades between 17 different NBA teams. This year, those numbers should look small. That doesn't make sense because, like, there were so many players moved last season and this offseason that it comes to the point where you don't want to keep on messing with team chemistry and players kind of stay put. That's kind of a trend, I think, with the NBA, where it's like you'll see a ton of, like, big-name players go. They'll stick around with that team for a while, and then, you know, in a few NBA seasons, rinse and repeat. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section below, which kind of trades do you want to see go down this NBA trade deadline? Like, is there any, like, big-time trade you really want to see from your favorite team or your favorite player, or really just any NBA team in general? Anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.